afternoon, good evening, based on your location. All of you joining us on our KOOL platform. Thank you so much for being with us. It's Mondays, and today is Friday. Welcome, the final presentation of this week of the morning. Where we walk the walk and talk the talk. And as usual, help to shift the paradigm of our democracy without fear, without favor. We speak undiluted truth for power. Welcome, folks. WEEKIE, Brooklyn Bros is my name. Usually on the weekend, my friends call me Weekend. Brooklyn Bros, it's good to be back here. It's time to go time together. I want to tell like this morning. Less politics, more entertainment, inspirational speeches. As usual on Friday, this is where we inspire you. We get you out of your comfort zone. We inspire you, motivate you to make a contribution to your communities and your country at large. So welcome, folks. Let's have a good time together. Started like this morning.
From the hot power business, this is KOOL 98.1 You are clever leader, my single. Be a clever leader, my single. Oh, yeah, I go leader, my single. Be a clever leader, my single. From the hot power business, this is KOOL 98.1
Okay, let them carry it on, folks. Welcome to it. Okay, let them carry it on, folks. Welcome to it. All of the morning rap lesson. Good morning to all of you joining us on this. Thanks so much to you guys. Thanks so much. Always been with us. To you guys tuning in, watching us live as usual. It's good to be back on your favorite radio on this. Tuning in and watch Friday morning. Usual. Yeah, folks. Back on your favorite radio on this. You know, this morning. It's time to have a sober reflection as it relates to our young people in this country. This is not politics. This is about nationalism and patriotism. This is about the moral outbringing of our children, our brothers, our sisters, and those we have branded as zogos and whatever we call them. It is incumbent upon us as leaders of our country, leaders in our communities, in our districts, in our counties, to talk to our young brothers and sisters. You know, the robbery in our country is gradually getting out of hand. And it seems that though we do not have people or we do not have security in our country, and that is not the case. We are hoping that these things can change in a couple of days. We see our young brothers, bro, they want to rob people and try to take away their motorcycle. And sometimes, unfortunately, when they are caught in the process, they are beaten pretty close to death, or probably they are beaten to death. We see our young brothers who stand by the roadside and wait for people who have earnestly worked, whether they're on their way to work in the morning or in the evening, back from work or from the business center that have so got the money with them. They are robbed, sometimes in the presence of state security. Not that the security can get into the matter, but at times that security is not fully equipped to withstand whatever resistance will come in trying to prevent the crime from being committed. So it becomes a serious issues. We know our children. We know exactly what they've been involved in. At times, we pretend that we do not know them. But when you hear somebody is beaten and you see mothers running to check on their children, they will hide them from these things. They will keep them when these things are happening. You wake up in the morning to go to work, you're wondering who's going to be waiting for you next. Cell phones are snatched away from people. You sit in the taxi, somebody comes to the door, jack your bed and start to run. And you call. You see, sometimes people just say, watch it, oh, you know, it has become business as usual. You hear people say, this thing is happening. It's always the case, it's always happening. And people make it look like it's something that's so usual and that's something that's supposed to happen. And even if you're yelling, sometimes people do not even come to your rescue. And you wonder, what do we got? Security in our country. And if so, what are these people sitting and watching these things happen? We all want the votes from these same people, but we are not willing to change them. And today, there was a campaign. You will find this other politician in right, like in Douala and other places say, oh, they are going to identify. They will cook food and even carry to them. They'll buy clothes only because of that moment, only because of the votes. That's the most important thing. And at the end of the day, you leave those identical young brothers and sisters in the slums, in the ghettos, and their habits will not change. You have gotten the votes. We saw that during the campaign. T-shirts were printed. They took it to these people. They encouraged these people to even go and register to make sure that these people were all legitimate voters. Send them to go and register. They went and they did. Make sure that the cards are shown. In a short time in the campaign, political institutions and individuals, you show all of the love to the young brothers. And after elections, they went back into the slums, into the ghettos. They were never given a chance to go to vocational schools and acquire knowledge that will help them to do plumbing, electricity, and you name the rest. But we are only branding them, looking at them as criminals. And when these people, sometimes they rob people, they carry some of these things home. Their parents are all smiling, laughing, happy about it. The churches in our country, when they receive donation from abroad, that's when they think they should identify with these people. That's when they go. They say, oh yeah, they're talking to them. No safe home. People in Liberia are going and buying children. For some of our sisters who are into the streets, into the ghettos, they get pregnant, they give birth, they do not want to be baby's mother. So people will go there and give them just a little and take these children away. You know a lot of the stories I'm talking this morning, and you know I'm talking to somebody this morning. I may sound like a preacher man this morning, but this is a different form of the presentation today. I've been moved to talk to somebody, to walk to the ghetto next door this morning and talk to the young folks there that they deserve. No, let me say something to you. Those who only want you to say, I will say, you yourself over there deserve to tell other people to be praising God to you. You deserve to have a better life. Imagine you knowing yourself wearing one clothes for the next 1 week and you can't even take that. You take a bag of mineral water and wash your feet and think you have already taken your bath. Some of our young brothers, they are motorcyclists. Their whole intent of being on the motorcycle is to steal, connive with criminals, and carry people places. Sometimes you sit on the back. Nobody waiting to ask you where you're going, and they will just start running with you where, and you have to say, but you know, sometimes when you go in, they even won't pass you because the mind. You got taxi drivers who are criminals in this country. You sit in the car, they connive with people to take your phone, they take your handbags. People putting knives on your side. These things are happening in our country. What can we do? No jobs. We have not been able to encourage people to have investment in our country. People work months. They do not get the salary. It will take them to go and protest. You work in Liberia. You work under threats. Every day somebody wants to threaten you. Oh, you don't do this, you'll be dismissed. You know, Jobs in Liberia, jobs in Liberia is like you're on the war front. You get a job in this country, people think they're doing favor for you when you are doing the work for them as well. And putting money into their pockets. Take the job, the knowledge is there. But these things must come with respect as well. Our mothers and sisters, brothers, no job security, work on a threat. How many institutions in this country provide transportation? But if you are 1 second late, it becomes a serious problem. How you get there, nobody cares. But it's about you being there and get the job done. People work with government entities, they take their own money from their pockets. And transport themselves. And everybody keep looking. The buses are all dying. But you should be there. And that's wonderful. And that's the thing to do. Look, and so all of these things on this wonderful, wonderful day. Folks, let me just take this wonderful break, and I'm going to be back this on. We have to talk about these things this morning. So all of these things.
Let it carry on, let it carry on, let it carry on, let me get you, let it carry on, let it carry on, let it carry on, let it carry on, let me get you, let it carry on. In the best father, may the body be the partner, in the best father, when that's what in my partner, when they so much that I be a partner, they don't say they also be partner, for flash of it, no stop, no stop, no stop. I can know my name, I can be missing you with I can know my name, I can be missing because in my mind, I can know my name, I can be missing me running the time, I can know my name.
Okay, folks, welcome back to it on this wonderful day. This wonderful, wonderful presentation. We'd like to say good morning to all of you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you watching us live from across the world. It's a pleasure having you joining us. And later this morning, we pay host to Mr. Christopher His Onanuga joining us live on the line on this wonderful day. On today, there are a couple of issues to talk about, and we will be talking about these things on this wonderful day on the presentation of the morning round. So, folks, don't go away. As soon as we finally get connected, we will definitely bring you Mr. Christopher His Onanuga, who happens to be the CEO of this great institution, and a couple of things we're going to be talking about. The importance of, a chocolate to the west, and job creation in Liberia, the president's tour. These are the things we're going to be looking at job creation. You listen to the U.S. ambassador talking about all of these things, and hopefully we will definitely get you on very shortly. But let's make this adjustment, and as soon as we do, we will definitely get you on. Welcome, folks.
From the hot pot of Israel, this is KOOL 91.9 FM. They can't stop my boy. You are clever, Dia clever lile upasilo. Olha a ibo lile upasilo. Dia clever lile upasilo.
Okay, let them carry on. Let's go now this morning on this wonderful day to make sure that we have it on the line this wonderful day, folks, wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Let's get to just before we get on the line. Let me read some of the comments very shortly coming in, and as soon as we do, we say good morning, Mr. Brooks. Abu Eswari watching live from my tailor shop at the Copper Road Junction. Dara T. Nimlan say good morning, cool family. My name is Dara T. Nimlan. Thanks for the topic on the discussion this morning. And I'm watching live from my comfort zone in Bernard's Fire FDA community. Victor Vanja Seon say good morning, Mr. Brooks. And I'm always religiously following you from Pacos Island community where many young people are jobless. Thanks for always keeping us informed. Emmanuel and Yazoo say good morning to my cool family. My name is Emmanuel Yazoo, and I'm willing to hear some of the bad behavior of our leaders and show me love. Say good morning, Mr. Brooks, and I'm Emmanuel Dawson, watching you live from Johnsonville, looking time. Emmanuel Colley said, Mr. Brooks, my name is Emmanuel Colley, and I'm watching you live on SD Cooper. Well, thanks for the topic on the discussion. Have a wonderful weekend. Wish you the same. Lost in Augustine, Sagasha Wisdom. Say good morning. I'm Baptist Seminary Defender, and my name is Lawson Augustine Agasha's Wisdom, watching live from District 6. Say from District 6 this morning. Daniel Sabo said good morning, Wiki. Good morning to Nat, and my name is Daniel Sabo, and I'm watching you from my resident in King Green Community District 6, Montserrat County. Thanks for the very interesting topic on the discussion, and I pray no Liberia will change one day. And this one said Jefferson T.S. said good morning, and I'm cool family, and I'm watching from District 11. Darlington Quanon said good morning, Brooks. My name is Darlington Quanon. Follow you from my Peace Island community in 540. And Sakit Vai said good morning, Wiki, and I'm Sakit Vai following you this morning, watching you live from my comfort zone in Moses Farm, Red Light, Monrovia, Liberia. Wonder Boy, this comes from Wonder Boy and testimony. Say good morning, Mr. Brooks, the cool family. I'm Wonder Dynasty, and I'm watching you from Pipeline Road, precisely at Jacket Junction. And J. Xavier Goodness, good morning, cool family. My name is J. Xavier Goodness, watching from Ratline Market. And Ruben Vine said, good morning, Mr. Brooks. I'm Ruben. And Tower Good said, good morning, Wiki. And I'm Tower Good, riding live from the Pinza Central Market. And at that me say my name, you have to put some fire in that strictly voice, man. Okay, folks, thank you so much. Fuck Pat Zhao say good morning, cool family. My name is Zhao, and I'm watching you from Habel. And Aaron Nagwe say, good morning, Mr. Brooks. My name is Aaron Nagwe, and I'm watching you live from my Gopa Chop resident to be precise. Bassa time. Let me say, have a splendid weekend, my information minister. And yeah, DJ Ironin, he say, I'm monitoring you from Dwaso Mikey become the thank you so much. And this one comes from Family P. David say, good morning, Mr. Brooks, and to the wonderful people of this great nation, Mama Liberia. Thank God that today is Friday, and I will be motivated and be courageous about life. Thank you so much. And Peter J. say good morning, Wiki, and to the cool family listeners, and a happy, pleasant weekend as well. I joined the conversation live from this morning from my police academy resident entitled Stumbi. Say good morning, cool family. Robert Sai say I'm watching from my comfort location in Painesville, and this one come from William K. Howard say thanks to the CEO for investing so highly in the young people of Liberia. And Robert Sai said good morning, Mr. Brooks. Alvin Houghton said good morning, cool family, and I'm watching you from Boa. Restoration on the scene. He said, good morning, sir. We keep Brooklyn Brooks and Jay Nathan B. Va. And let me also say good morning to your Backroom star, I'm Jared Tatum, and I'm related to the father in the morning ride from my comfort zone in 72nd Boulevard community. Thanks for the show. And Johnson Saturday Freeman said, good morning, cool family. My name is Johnson Freeman, and I'm watching you. Got the show from my Weala this morning. Always joining us, Johnson from Weala. Thank you so much. And Ishmael Bobby Joe said, good morning, cool family. And then Ishmael Bobby Joe watching from biblical WEEKIE. The only way Liberia can change until we change our mindset. And Moses Jimo guy said, good morning to the cool family. The name is Constant. Moses Jimo guy, and I'm following this fascinating topic for SD Cooper Tour. And D. Emmanuel Flomo said, good morning, Mr. Brooks and Mr. D. Emmanuel Flomo. And I'm watching you live from Weala Mikey County. Thank you so much, amen. And Menso Bala said, good morning, Mr. Vi and Mr. Brooks and Menso Bala, and I'm watching you live from my comfort zone to be precise, Spaceville, Joe, by community. Thanks for the platform. And Ranaf Mambai said, good morning, cool family, and I'm watching live for Zwejo, Grand Judea County. Thank you so much. George Porgy said, I'm watching from my resident. William Kofa said, good morning, Wiki Brooklyn Books. My name is William C. Kofa, and I'm watching you from Dwazo. So, folks, this morning, wherever you are, as soon as we get words from our CEO, we'll certainly join the conversation this morning. So,
Wiki,
we
I'm
are
here.
now on the line this morning. We'd like to say, wherever you are, folks, welcome to the conversation on this wonderful day. Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
You are live. Let's hear you. Good morning.
Good morning, Wiki. I'm here. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. You're live. You're welcome. Let's
Thank
have it. It's a pleasure having you this morning.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me clearly?
Okay, let's make our adjustment. Our technical people working on the line this morning to make sure that we. Okay, let's hear you. Good morning.
Good morning, Wiki. How are you?
Well, our technical team are seriously working on this issue to get the audio out this morning, and then we will go to Mr. Christopher His Onanaga to make sure that he's on the line this morning. So let's see what he's coming through this morning. Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Okay, it's what. All right. It's wonderful to have you on the line this morning and live on the morning wrap. Pleasant good morning to you once again.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
What's happening in the studio?
Yeah, the technical people working on it, but you're coming in. Yeah, we get to you now. We are now getting you. So we can now go ahead. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
You're welcome.
Okay, now let's start up. We understand you talk about chocolate, good for the worst. We hope that you can just walk us to Tuesday. I mean,
I don't understand.
Well, probably you're not getting us.
I'm getting you clearly. You have not introduced what I should talk about, so I'm a bit
Okay,
confused.
yeah, that's right. You talk about the importance of chocolate to the West.
Yes. Okay, so this is it.
Okay.
We all know the importance of chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Chocolate is sweet. Chocolate is something that all the kids want to have.
Oh my God.
People just
Yeah.
let me shut down these background calls. You there?
Yeah, we're getting you live.
Okay, so this is it.
Mm-hmm.
In reality,
Yeah.
chocolate is one of the most important confectionaries and food that you can get around the world. It's
Wonderful.
also a balanced meal when you have kids having it. Chocolate can be produced into from flavors to ice cream to chocolate bars to candy to a meal. What hot chocolate, whatever you're doing in this world that has to do with sweetener, chocolate is important. And in the Western world, chocolate is extremely never missing from the table. Chocolate cake, chocolate milk, chocolate bars, chocolate drinks, chocolate energy drink, chocolate protein drinks, name it. Everything is chocolate. So the question is, how important is chocolate to the Western world? Before we look at how important chocolate is to the Western world, we have to look at how important cocoa is to Africa. Because in Africa, it's where most of the chocolates come from, the cocoa that produce chocolate, the raw material. And don't forget, one of the most important nations for cocoa is next door to us, Cote d'Ivoire. And it is quite clear that anyone who wants to make impact will begin to change if they are dealing with commercial farming intentions, such products. Do we plant more cocoa considering rubber? Which is more viable? Which earns more? What should Africans be looking at? What should Liberia be looking at? Should we do more cocoa, more rubber, or more cashew nut? What is it that's going to earn us a better income as farmers? What products do we have that we can use that cannot be destroyed when we harvest them quickly? Most of the politicking that takes place in Africa, especially with who becomes president of a country and who doesn't become president of a country, is based on what the West sees they can get out of that country. Nigeria is oil. Ghana is gold. Liberia is rubber. Cote d'Ivoire is cocoa. And there are several other things and several other minerals, both on top of the land and below the land, that gives rise. Liberia is also because of her thick Amazon forest, which is extremely important for hydrocarbon maintenance on Earth. But we are discussing cocoa. It is quite glaring that anyone who must make impact along the Maryland, Sino, Grand Gire, all these belts, it's quite easy for you to plant cocoa and you can always move your cocoa into Cote d'Ivoire, sell it, make a huge quantity of cash, and know that your cocoa will not spoil. I'm sitting down here, I'm about to plant 300 acres of cocoa. But it's important to know that whatever the West needs and Africa can provide, we must focus on those, because it simply means that we earn more on that. That is why I try to understand to bring this to the bearing of people who are farming in Liberia, who say, "Oh, I want to farm this." You don't have to farm what others are farming. Farm what they say you can raise income for that makes you wealthy. The reason why we are poor is that we're following others and we're not following the trend. We must follow the trend. A lot of people are planting cocoa. What's his name? We see Besonga Finlay planted cashew nuts. We see a lot of people, Nito Zazalai, plants cocoa, Grand Gire. We need to focus. And I think we should not just focus on things that we can sell as raw materials. We must be able to semi-produce these materials. But more importantly, not only can we sell the cocoa, but we can also produce the cocoa into confectionaries that we need in Liberia. So doing cocoa, doing cashew nuts, and other consumables are far better than for us doing rubber and doing other things that we have to only sell and earn on. So I'm trying to see how we can refocus farmers to think that those who are going to serious agricultural farming, agro farming on large scale, who want to earn better, you have to be able to plant things that you know will not be destroyed because you don't have the silos to maintain them, the kind of storage. Two, you don't have the kind of maintenance to pour onto them. Cocoa, after you plant for 2-3 years, you are done. You don't need to maintain the farm again. It grows on its own. But with other herbs like potato greens and the rest, we need to know what we're doing that makes us self-sufficient. And one way farmers can be able to make money out of what they're doing, the sweat of the labor, is to practice cocoa farming in Liberia, most important. Hello, Wiki?
Yeah, I'm getting you. Go ahead.
I'm done. You have to be proactive. I cannot see your proactiveness.
Uh-huh. Yes. Mhm. Yeah, we are actually getting you. So, what's your own encouragement to farmers in terms of this in making the kind of investment now, get away from other farming and making sure that they are actually empowered? And it's so important to the West and all of these things that you earlier on named and telling farmers and the Ministry of Agriculture and the government at large.
First of all, Wiki, I don't think you should close the line because it takes too long for you to respond to me when I'm speaking. I don't know why, but you need to keep that line open that you keep closing. First of all, I'm not telling farmers not to plant. I'm saying farmers who are thinking of planting the wrong kind of crops in Liberia should begin to
Mhm.
focus on what the market says. They should look at the cost of the two of the product they are selling. Cocoa now is so viable like cashew nut. It's even more greater value on the market than rubber and other things. So we need to start focusing on those agricultural products that really earns us instead of just focusing because we want to have a farm. So we just plant anything on the farm. We must plant what we know we can earn maximum benefit or revenue from. That will also benefit the external market and the local market.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, so let's now look at this issue of job creation. You talk about the issue of job creation, which of course has been a serious concern over the period of time. A lot of people been complaining they've been out of job. I listened to the U.S. ambassador a couple of weeks talking about the issue of creating more jobs to get people who are unemployed and having jobs. Let's hear you from your own perspective the issue of job creation in our country, which is a serious concern facing this government, even the last government. Let's hear you. Job creation, most especially young people as well.
Well, on the issue of job creation, we have between 85 to 90% of our populace unemployed. And there's a bi-dichotomy where people feel that if you're not doing government job, you are not employed. More people who are employed in the private sector. The private
Mhm.
sector do more employment than the civil service. But there are more citizens who are high school graduates than those who are passing through the walls of universities. Yet, these high school graduates could earn a lot more than even those in universities, like in Japan, like in South Korea, like in Germany and the rest.
Mhm.
Most of these people who work in the auto industry and put so much time into the assembly plants and the rest are not graduates. They are high school graduates who were given technical training. And because they handle the technical aspect of the job, they have to be paid for the hard work and heavy functionalities. So I always talk about tourism as a core agenda that can move
Mhm.
the sector. Tourism, if the civil service can employ 100,000 people, tourism can employ
Mhm.
300,000-400,000 persons because they are independently employed and everything they need to practice tourism is available. But there are other sectors that can actually become unique. And that's what we are working on. I'm going to be in Liberia very soon. And Liberia is going to have several other persons. There are people there already working while I'm here. And there's another group going along next week. And then I'm coming along. And we are there trying to do what is happening in India, what's happening in Pakistan, what's happening in the whole of Asia.
Mhm.
Job America and call T-Mobile customer care. The person that is answering you is actually in China, is actually in India, Yeah, it's actually in Nepal, it's actually in Indonesia and other places. Coding. Coding is an IT code where people do tabulation of numbers and other calculations for big companies, institutions, and governments. And these codings are being done in countries where the labor is cheap. It can be done in countries like America, the UK, where the cost of labor is so expensive. Now, Liberia have a high level of high school graduates. If you have to pay people who are coding in America $15-20 per hour, it means we can train 4, 5, 6, 10,000 Liberians who are high school graduates who can code and earn $5 to $6 per hour. You understand my point? So what are we doing? We are bringing that to Liberia. We're investing already $1.2 million in the structure, which should be finished very soon. And when the structure is finished, it will be one of the most important things in that structure. We'll begin to train young high school graduates how to code, how to answer calls, how to do this. Coding is one part, being good customer service operators, one part, involved in a lot of other issues. So they can all stay in the houses. They don't need to go to work. They just need to stay in the houses and earn that $5 per hour, and that's $7 per hour. And people think it's far. No, the construction of the training center is almost done in Liberia already. So once that construction is almost done, it means that sooner or later equipment, and as I speak to you, equipment are already being moved to Liberia. We cannot wait for the government alone to do all this. So if in a year we can pull out between 400 to 1,000 young high school graduates in these particular fields who are good customer care personnel, who are good coders, who are good data importers, it simply means that automatically all those guys will get jobs because they are not working for companies in Liberia. They are going to be working for companies outside of Liberia as freelancers. They are given targets to meet every day. And once they meet that target, the calculation of their $5 to $7 a day per hour is calculated, and they know how much they earn that day. They actually choose to collect their monies every week, every 2 weeks, every month. Wonderful. If we are able to pull out 1,000 persons every year, as we grow to 2,000-3,000 every year, these particular people we are training, all of them already have jobs once they are trained and they complete the training. So we're talking about job creation on a practical level now. It's no longer say, oh, government, you ain't doing this, who is stealing money, who is being corrupt. No. We are saying let's take responsibilities into our own hands and make a difference. So what did we do? City KOOL Liberia Limited decided to invest. So we left all the travels and the rest have begun to pay benefits. Do you know how many military institutions around the world want data guys who can code? How many IT companies want data guys, AT&T, Benel? Do you know all the work that is being done by Tesla, by GM Motors? Do you know they need people? Do you know the big companies in the Western world cannot afford to pay their hourly rate for the professionals in their countries, and they're looking for cheap and fair labor? That's the reason why we are supposed to have industrial free zone where international companies can come and open their companies, build factories, manufacture goods, even goods that are not even being consumed by the country that they are manufacturing in, but because they can export these goods to other countries that bring huge income to the country for which they are being hosted by. So we need to begin to look at those avenues where government doesn't have to spend directly to create employment, but yet employment are created, and the earnings by the citizens of that country can be used to turn around the actual development of the country. So yes, there are so many ways we are now working. We are not talking about what should be done. We are talking about the practical things that we are now executing to bring about faster growth of employment, to reduce that 85 to 90% of unemployment. Because what would they say when you talk about Liberia? Oh, there's no factory, so nobody's employed. There's no enough companies to employ the graduates that are leaving universities. Let us forget about them. Let's now focus on the practicality of it. How much can the uneducated or the semi-educated or the high school graduates bring into the economy? And I can show you. When these things start in the first 5 years, you'll be surprised that what we'll be earning as high school graduates in Liberia could be equal to our national budget. So it simply means that our gross domestic will rise, our net income will rise. It simply means our direct infusion into development in the country will rise, which means we're not only depending on diaspora now, where Liberians send money to Liberians. No, we are going to be depending on where Liberians earn money from international institutions in Liberia to spend in Liberia, to invest in Liberia. Those are the kind of things we're talking about. And can you imagine when those are happening and we are known to have a lot of these kind of guys employed who are doing international jobs, but they are sitting in the houses with their small tablets and their laptops, because the tool to use is so simple. You can code on your phone. You can do customer care on your phone. You can do data service on your phone. You just need a phone. So you see, your only tool. You don't need to go nowhere. You can be in a car and be working, driving. So you can be in a taxi and be talking to someone who called you from the UK or from Sweden, and they
and
ask you,
still
hello,
making
sir,
some
this
money.
is T-Mobile service, and what can we do for you? But you are in your car. So you are serving and making money at ease in your own area of convenience. And when these are being done, trust me, you will see a lot of tourists moving to your country because we make friends. We are good at making friends. We have good food. Our people are so hospitable. We have one of the most beautiful women on earth. Our men are ready to assist you in anything you want to do. We have coconuts, we have beaches, we have swimming pools almost at every bar these days. We have tourist sites all around the counties. These are the things that make Liberia great. But how can we actually do the right things that will also help us to move forward and pull tourism? These are the things we need to do. And that's why we have woken up. Instead of saying government should do this, government cannot do this, we are saying we are going to do these things to be done so that others can get involved, and then we make a difference.
Yeah.
So the training must start in December. The first batch of trainers training.
That's wonderful to hear from you, and a lot of the great young people in the country will be so excited and waiting and want to hear from you.
Thank you. We are working on
Okay,
it,
so let's
and we know
move
we
to
can make
this issue as it relates to the president's tour, which he will have taken a couple of years, but due to the global pandemic, the president now officially completed the first set of his tour in terms of the counties he visited, making commitment to some of the counties, talking. There were a lot of groundbreaking ceremonies, and people were so excited. Some of them seeing the president for the first time, like in Wee Statutory, yeah, where he visited, and he was the first president in 1938 and other places across the country. What is your own understanding and the commitment with the president tour, the excitement, all of the commitments? Let's hear from you.
First of all, the best thing to have happened to Liberia under the Joel Howard Taylor-led administration is this particular tour. No development in Liberia made sense. No level of interaction in Liberia made sense. The president of the Republic of Liberia just started leading Liberia through the visitation to rural and leeward counties in Liberia. Because it is so clear that we are more focused on Monserrado as the core center of leadership and politics, which has made it the cosmopolitan center for politics. But apart from that, you hear other stories from Nimba, from County, from Basso, from Magibi, and Lufa. The reasons why we hear scanty information from Bomi and Cape Man, because they are just next door. How much do we hear from Riverside? How much do we hear from River G? How much do we hear from Grand G there? Sino, you know what we hear from them? We hear that somebody died, somebody was killed, somebody dropped in the water, illegal mining. We hear all the negatives. Are we saying nothing good can come out of those places? No. The president's tour was a beautiful thing. The question I ask is, this tour, was it packaged to fulfill all the necessary gaps are needed on such a tour? For instance, one, what was the role of the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism in documenting in all fairness this tour? What materials did they bring back? that can be given to expert institutions like Citycom Liberia Limited that's into events, tourism, and the rest, to do some documentaries, to do some photographic cleaning, to do some photo exhibitions of county by counties. We can have 30 days, 2 days for Maserati, 2 days for Bong, 2 days for Sino, in a unique place where if a Sino, we put out 500 pictures of Sino, maybe like 3 by 4 feet pictorials framed. We put like 100 of people walk in, look at the various sights and sounds of Sino, even buy them for $500, $600, $700. What do we do with them? What is happening in Grand Crew? I saw the president doing the Warriors dance. What led to that? Was it by heart or was it a plain thing? Is it going to be involved in a full-fledged national, traditional, and cultural documentary? What are those places that he went where he had to fall down because the bridge was not good enough to put a stick? What is it those people need? What kind of crops are grown around Liberia? Did he go to Maryland and taste the people's roasted cassava with roasted cricket and red oil? Did he go to Grand Chile and tasted the palm butter with bitter roots? What did he do? What did the people around him do? Did they go with a proper planning or doing serious photography, serious video documentary? Did they go do historical documentations of the did they have people who were doing interview with traditional chiefs, storytellers, sorry, a whole lot of stuff. What were they doing? Because it's not just about the tour, it's not the political facet of it. It must have tourism. And have a compartmentalized, compact activity to take place that gives you the passion to come back and say, now it's time to look at all that we got from this tour. Because it's not, the focus is on the president, yes? But the technicians will be underground doing the work. Or were they all just running wherever the president go to go? When the president stands here to talk, they put a camera on, boom. Or were there technicians doing the job that needed to be done to sell the country? I look at what's his name, Sekou going onto an island, a small parcel of land, less than 10 acres, but it was in the middle of the sea, in the middle of a huge sea. What a beautiful facet. Do you know how many people would love to buy that island for $2-3 million? It earns the government money. Do you know how many people, some of us know, that would love to buy that island and call it Liberia Republic and get approval to give it that name because the government of Liberia approved that land to be sold as part of Liberia to that person and they give it uniqueness? Do you know how many helicopters can land over there? How many fishing sports, how many water sports? Do you know that we can get 345 air balloon over there where the people can enter the balloon and go in the sky and see the whole of that particular county and have beautiful pictures taken that can spread Liberia around? We need to know what we did with the tour. But the first primary benefit of the tour is that the president has first-hand knowledge of how his people live, what their happiness level are, how much educational need they have, what's the health condition of them, how their shelter look. These are the kind of things that makes governance widespread, inclusive, and collective. But know how to tell the story and tell it correctly. So first of all, I give kudos to the president for moving. He went to places where people, where even the security were saying that place is not good, don't go there. The road not good. He broke the rules. He went there. Those are what we want to see. Who are the communicators? Who are the PR experts? Who are the strategists and the technicians who are putting this particular story together? Because the only thing they focus on is on Facebook. Hopelessly. Who are the business people who are on Facebook looking for investors? They're not on Facebook. There are people we have to travel and see and talk to them daily. How do you think I'm getting a whole crew? That's in Liberia now doing feasibility study. How do you think the next group is going next week? How do you think I'm coming? It's because it's a conscious effort to engage and sell a platform that works.
All right. Okay, folks. All right. Thank you so much Yeah, this morning, with all of what been said by Mr. Christopher Hisomaniga, I hope you guys have been listening and following this morning. He talked about the issue of the importance of chocolate to the West. He spoke about the importance of, job creation, tourism for the young people, and he have given his own overview about this issue of the president's tour, places he went, some of the areas, and all of these things that took place there, folks. You've been listening to all this morning. So it's now time we go to the phone line to hear from our callers on the line this morning, as usual. If you're watching us across the world, that's our WhatsApp number there. You can also call and be part of the conversation this morning. And let's go to the line and talk to Mr. Christopher. His Onanigat on 0775 919 919 0880 919 at the number. Please lower the volume of your receiver if you want to make a point. Let's go to the line. Good morning.
Good morning, Wiki. Good morning to the CEO. My name is Dr. Saki. I'm joining from District Number 6. I want to commend you. I want to commend the CEO the morning which he speak this morning. I want to ask the CEO one question. What can you think what is strategy that the prophet can put into empower the youth? We just, the deaf was all rule. We are not saying the rule is bad, but when you play rule, I think how to empower the youth. So what is strategy the prophet can put in or the government will put in to empower the youth?
Okay, he will definitely respond to that. Just keep listening. Let me take other callers. Your line. Good morning. Akwe, your line is bad. Trust me. Your line is bad. We can take you. The feedback is terrible, like I said earlier on. So call us on 0775 919 919 0880 Let me go back to the line and talk to this caller. Good morning. You're welcome. Let's hear you.
Thank you, Mr. Good morning to our brilliant CEO for a brilliant analysis that he gets elaborated. For your recommendation, I'm Tukan Rabat, and I join you from my respectful resident this morning on the program.
Okay, Puga, go ahead.
Thank you, Wiki, and thank you to the CEO. And the CEO actually is somebody, the CEO recommendation, it's somebody recommendation that the government will take into consideration.
Yeah, go ahead.
This recommendation the CEO has made, and what the government, or particularly the person we are, locally as funding the men block or funding the CEO just want to get on or anybody or posting or what CEO is doing or it's something that is a opportunity for calculation. You see, the CEO talk about cocoa. The place of cocoa. The place of cocoa. We are here of gas cocoa. Cocoa is power for resources or anybody or we eat. So the president, this is what the CEO has said concerning cocoa. Concerning all one million everybody or resources that government should depend on to us. So yes, the level of practical profit. We'll be getting there. But what our government just takes structures of conservation. What to do is take it as something like after
Okay, we are all hoping, Puka, we are all hoping that all of the recommendations brought up by the CEO of KOOL 91.9 Citycom Liberia will be taken into consideration, and I'm sure he will definitely deliver some of the recommendations with government upon his return. That he talk about tourism and talk about job creation and all of these things, and giving an oversight of the president's tour that we all can benefit from this morning. Let's talk to other callers on the line. Good morning.
Morning, Wiki.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my name is Emmanuel. I'm coming from the GCNGA to Robia. Yeah, Wiki, I'm so happy this morning when I heard the fellow that actually the spirit guys are talking about things that we need to be done as a young people, or especially when you talk about the our young people. Yes. I was so happy this morning. I moved this morning. Actually, I always listen to the station travel with the president. When they get on that tour from probably within Accra, or are they doing the regular thing that they needed to do as a clinical staff go with the president, where you have some photographs of the tourism side that he made mention about? These are things that I think that go with that job function, okay? So we're hoping that they listen to this, even if they are not started, they will be able to get, on their feet and do just as they were called to do for the Republic. So I'm glad, I'm so glad this morning.
Okay.
And we are hoping that that project will start, and some of us, we are waiting to go on the training, whatever it takes, so that we can acquire that knowledge and we empower and improve the daily conditions of our brothers and sisters that are environment that just are med school graduates. So once again, we keep an encouragement and happy and hoping that this thing will work.
Okay, thank you so much for your comment this morning. Let's hear from other callers on 0775 919 919, 0880 919 919 are the numbers you can call us on to be part of the conversation this morning. Let's hear from other callers. You're live. Yeah, you're welcome. Let's hear you.
Thank you. Good morning to our knowledgeable CEO.
You're welcome.
CEO said everything clearly, but one thing I want to get to do with the CEO was the president talk. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. The CEO said everything when it comes to our
The president's tour. You say you want to disagree with the CEO on what he said about the president's tour.
on the president talk.
Mm-hmm.
The CEO, let's say, commended the president to the fullest extent he told that he went to from places that David too. But the CEO, in the president tour, the president has not defeated. He has not he was elected. He had tour. So the president went, all the things he told them, he didn't told us to attack the head of all. But the voice of the people, he told everything for the back of the people. And he told the people, not the first step, but not the last step. Hello?
Yeah, let's hear you. Go ahead. Okay. Thank you so much. Let's hear from the CEO. Let's hear he respond to some of those things I raised. And I'm sure you heard some of the question. The last question, the caller said he disagreed with you with your analysis in praising the president for his tour. He said the president was very selective. Are you getting us?
Yes, I'm getting you.
Okay, yeah. The last caller who left the line said he disagreed with your analysis in terms of the president tour, that the president was being very selective and all of these things. And the first caller said, what strategy you think the president needs to put in to motivate the young people? Yeah, the job creation, building of roads, all the things are good. And rest of the other callers commended you for all of the recommendation and hoping that government can take serious consideration of all of those things you said.
Okay, so continue with your callers.
Okay, got up 0775 919 919, 0880 919 919 are the two numbers this morning. You can join us. Okay, let's go back to the line and talk to our callers. You're live. Let's hear you.
Thank you, Wiki. I'm Aaron account 9. And Wiki, thank you for the platform this morning and thank to the CEO.
Mm-hmm.
And Wiki, we are all Liberians. And nationalism is paramount to the growth and development of this country. And Wiki, all of those recommendations that have been coming from the CEO, it's not only about giving the recommendations. And the question that some of us ask, is these recommendations have been taken into consideration from government and from opposition and from meaningful Liberians? These are million-dollar questions we ask because it is disheartening for somebody to have the effort recommending good things to have the growth and development of the country improving, and it has not been materialized by both sectors. I think CEO, and I want you to please take upon your time and at least to have some level of meeting with both government officials, not only the president
Thank you so much. Your life.
Good morning, my brother. Wiki Broken Broke, the legendary of whoever station. And let me say, Rapo Wakwan, so our CEO, Mr. Christopher, is Sunanica. This is the Rastafari. Oh, I'm glad this morning to hear your voice. It's been a very long time in the Almighty God bless you. They give you long life. But we want to know, Mr. CEO, you've been away for a long time. And you spoke legacy, but I never heard you say anything about the Samuka issue. And since the lockdown of the COVID-19, after the lockdown, when our president and other people promised us to honor the donation that came in Liberia, and since then, how do you look at the living condition of your people and how it says the countries are proceeding on a daily basis of government claiming and opposition council claiming with the issue about material debt within the country and how the countries are proceeding, how they feel look at it, how well you think you got a marketing to pay to come and operate with the government and see how best we can go on with the growth and development of the nation of oil. Excuse me, of all your
Thank you so much. Let's talk to other callers. Your life.
Well, Wiki, good morning.
Good morning.
Kathleen says good morning to our potent CEO. Thank you. I'm Prince Cola again. I'm from my most talk about Dillon Avenue. Let me concur with the analysis of the CEO. I think the president tour is necessary because I will on some occasion when he enters some of those countries and make a personal donation with the issue of SASTA, we found out that certain portion of Grand Crew has been electrified. And this identical tour is essential in the sense that the president will know the living condition of the citizen and will have a limited interaction with those citizens. So I agree 100% on your analysis that has to do with the presidential tour. And I'm asking President Weah, let it not only be one tour in your region, at least it can be simultaneously so as to have the connection and every environment to have interaction with the citizens that live far away from Monrovia. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. To this call of your life.
Good morning.
Akwe, your line is bad. We can't keep you on the line. Your life.
Good morning, Wiki.
Good morning.
Good morning to the CEO. This is Ojuku. Oboso. I can agree with him, with the CEO, that the president tour was astounding. People need to understand that the president tour is the way, the gateway to interact with the people. That the president will know what our people are confronted with. When the president knows what our people are confronted with directly, the intervention will solve some of those problems. Take for instance, the president went to Nima. The hospital, the public hospital there, it was built along the train track. And today, through the president presence in Nima, the hospital has been relocated by the president. A groundbreaking has been done, and today they are building new structure for the people of Nima. Today, the president went to Grenadier. They are constructing about 150 bedrooms. The interaction with the president by the people of that region, they have given them a relief that our people need to have a good health center. Look, I think what we can do here as a people and nation, let us forget criticism of our own government and then put on what we consider as the recommendation that the government will work in to move our country forward. And let us government come, they can start to where the president will come. So I think we need to forget the positivity and so.
Thank you. Let's talk to other callers. Your life.
Good morning, Wiki.
Akwe, your line is bad. The feedback from the phone is terrible. Trust me, it's terrible. So, okay, let's go to our CEO now to hear him as he responds to a lot of the questions. Let me just take a few more calls and we'll go back to him. Your life.
Morning, Wiki.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm calling from National.
Okay, Iba, go ahead.
With the recommendation from the CEO including you concerning the tour of the president in the country, this includes the CEO, the that figure. I didn't know that issue was in the country. But my problem now, the recommendation I was made by the city, why will we take interest? How long, how long will we to see it happening? That's my question.
Okay. We'll wait to see. Let's hear from this caller. You live. Akwe, sorry, we can't really take you. Your line is having a serious problem. I hope you can check your phone. But let me go to the line and talk to this caller.
Let's deal with this.
Good morning. You're welcome.
Yes, my name is Walter Says Fabio, calling from Boston, Kemet District, Mafaf.
Go ahead.
Let me appreciate the CEO this morning for your analysis and gauge. I'm really happy with the analysis. If we get the leadership of the country, we listen to the analysis made by the CEO, I think will be progressing the railway. So I want to appreciate this morning for your analysis and your made. I think the ruling established will listen to him and see how the carry on implementation of the one look at the negative way, but look at the positive way that he has made to the people and the leadership should follow that the information that he gave to us. So I want to say thank you to him this morning. I may appreciate for your effort for your analysis this morning. Thank you very much.
Okay, and thank you to all of you this morning for your concern raised this morning. So let's go now, John, Mr. Christopher Hazel Nanuga, to respond to some of the concern be raised this morning. You're welcome back.
Thank you. Look, I'm not going to go into this politics of whether the president was selective or not selective. It's possible he chose 5 counties this time, or 6 counties, or 7 counties, and tomorrow he's going to choose another batch of counties. Those are not my issues. My issue is that something has started, so he needs to complete them. And let's see what's happening around the country so he knows where and where there's need of the people, because he wasn't voted for by people in Masarado or a few counties, he was voted by people from all around the country. So he cannot select who he deals with and who he doesn't deal with. It doesn't go down that way. So trying to make it on the political side, it was a political visit, but it's also an administrative visit. I wouldn't want to go beyond that. What I'm concerned about is the people who should do the works while he's on the ground. If they didn't do their job well, then I have a problem. Because like I said, my interest is tourism and it's job creation as well as youth development. And once those 3 things are not impactful from any visitation, the visitation is useless. So is there any other thing that was said that didn't sound the same, or do you have any questions that were asked directly?
Just one major concern. Well, one major concern came from one of the callers who said he did not hear you speak up the issue of Samuka and some other training issues in the country. You did not mention anything.
When it comes to the issues relating to Samuka, I may not be talking on radio. I'm not supposed to be talking on radio every day, but I did comment. I spoke on social media and I made my points known. My issue is simple. The same way I was totally against Mwabudike being an LACC or going to NEC, and he needed to know, the world needed to know that he didn't belong there. It's the same thing I would say about the law. I think that if the law was made to be just, the law should be executed justly. And I also think the Supreme Court has made it a bit more complex for the law to be executed. If you say that they should uphold the ruling of the lower court, that was nice. But then he's already contested, and then he's already been certified as the winner of the election. And the only problem is the delay of his certification. Then you have the Supreme Court saying from the lawsuit that went to them, from the local citizens, that this is disenfranchising of their rights. So, and they are saying no, the man is qualified, next should certify. So a whole lot of conflicting situation coming out. But bottom line, I think the money should be paid, because the money was not a donation, it was deduction from the AFL soldiers' salary. And Ellen, who is known to always push fire and draw her hands, has shown that she's not ready to back. She's ready to back Samuka underground, but not to come out and say this is exactly what happened. And for me, I just think that it's wrong. Whatever is done wrong is done wrong. If there was no documentation and there was no process to which that money was taken, then I mean, on a good day, Samuka should bear the consequences. I'm not running from those kind of stuff. So nobody's going to tell me that I'm not a politician. I won't take side. And one government that I would never support, or one political party that I would never support so instantly, is going to be the UP that was led by Ellen. Because when someone like me was being prosecuted, most of the people who are now in opposition were quiet and looking at it as a game plan. So What I'm trying to say in clear terms, we just need to find a common ground to make things work for our country and not focus on the politics. I don't want to focus on the politics. I want to focus on what matters: job creation, tourism, youth capacity building, and those are very core to what's going to take us to the next level.
Okay, we'd like to say thank you so much this wonderful morning for taking about your time, joining us on the conversation as usual, the morning ride. It's been a pleasure listening to you and hearing all of these wonderful teams we Liberians seriously anticipate upon your arrival. Thank you so much.
So let me just end it this way. When we're talking about training high school students who can earn money or high school people who are not going to university, we're not looking at Maserati alone.
Oh, okay.
Because we want to see people, youth in other counties, be able to spend what they earn, be able to be looked upon, and be mentors. Even though the first training center is in Monserrado, we will be pulling people from other counties to get this coding training, reception training, and the rest, and release them back into their counties. Because the job that needs to be done can be done from anywhere, even in the village, even in the kingdom. So you don't have to be in Maserati to get that training, and you don't have to, because those who live in rural Liberia, we make the same money, but we spend less, and we'll be able to empower the people. Imagine we have 200-300 persons in a Bopolu, and you have 200-300 persons in Sino who have been trained by us and who are in Sino and doing their jobs. That economy of that country is going to be good because these are people who will have money 24 hours, and they can definitely go and buy food from the Kobo shop. They can pay transportation. They will get mosquito coil. They will get a generator for their rooms. It will enhance the capacity of rural Liberia, and that's the essence of what we want to do: distribute wealth and not centralize wealth. And until we begin to distribute wealth, that's why I talk about agriculture. If agriculture are done well in the counties and wealth is distributed properly, it simply means that people begin to de-urbanize. And what do I mean by de-urbanization? People need to begin to leave the central city, which is Monserrado, the capital, Monrovia, or Bon County, Banga, or Ganta, and move into the rural part and know that they can still live and live healthy and well, So that's what we're looking at. And like I said, the structure is almost complete. Equipments are moving in right now to set up the training centers, and most likely we will soon be dealing with training. We hope that by the end of the year we can start rolling out training. You say I've not been in Liberia for a long time. Okay, it's true, I've not been in Liberia, but I'm on my way. In a few days from now, I'll be there. So we can all begin to go through the hard crunch and cranks to make it work. Thank you again to all Liberians, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much. The voice of Mr. Christopher His Onanoga that's joining us live from the United States on this edition of the Money Round. Thank you so much, folks. All right. We'll take this break to be right back on this wonderful day. Okay. Oh, God. Man, I already listen. Late in the next time, I gotta produce good audio. I said I think probably.